In the worldwide war against crime, there are men and women trained to sink their own identity in the international underworld. They work alone, in danger and in shadow, unrecognized by friend and enemy alike. They are the operators of the almost legendary Ghost Squad.
This case began in the hold of a fruit boat docked in Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey, Joe, remember Big Dutch Gronzi? Used to toss these things around with one hand. What did he get for it? A hernia. What are you doing with that crate, Joe?
I want to see what's inside it. It's twice as heavy as the others.
I've worked for Sir Andrew Wilson, the chief of the Ghost Squad, for 8 years. He doesn't often use the word urgent in reference to an assignment, but when he does, I know it's something big.
But Colonel Mendoza, as chief of the militia of Sebastiana City, you should at least have some information about Jackson's murder.
Sir Andrew, I beg you to be reasonable. Senor Jackson simply disappeared and... Caramba, I assumed he had gone back to America. Believe me, sir, I'm deeply shocked to hear of his death.
And there are no suspects, no evidence of any kind. Well, I'd appreciate if you'd keep me informed of all future developments. Yes, please. And will you give my warmest regards to President Rebus, please? Yes. Very well. Goodbye. Craig, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
I wish I was.
What's up?
Winters, any news from Forbes today?
No, sir, no transmission.
Craig, what do you know about Sebastiana?
Oh, well, let's see. Sebastiana is a small South American republic north of Brazil. Its capital is Sebastiana City. In 1953, a revolution put Enrico Rebus in power. What else? Oh, yes, there's a U.S. naval base there.
As Winters tipped you off, you must have been reading this up. You remember President Rebus paid a state visit to London last year?
Vaguely. I was in Rome at the time. The Ghost Squad took care of security arrangements, didn't it?
Yes, an operator called John Forbes. Did you ever meet him?
No.
President Rebus took him back with him to Sebastiana as his chief security officer.
I didn't know getting out of the Ghost Squad was that easy, sir.
It isn't. In addition to being in charge of President Rebus's personal security, Forbes is also working for us. At least I think he is.
What do you mean, sir?
Craig, 2 months ago, there was some sabotage in the United States Naval Base in Sebastiana. Washington sent down an agent called Jackson to investigate. We instructed Forbes to cooperate with him. Yesterday, his body was found... What was the name of that ship, Winters?
The San Felipe.
The San Felipe. From Sebastiana City, she docked in Baltimore. Jackson's body was found in a crate of bananas.
Murdered?
Yes.
And the Sebastiana police?
Oh, they haven't a clue. Or so they claim. Craig, I'm very worried. For some time past, there's been rumors of a plot against President Rebus. If the plot was successful, the repercussions would be enormous.
In what way, sir?
The United States might lose their naval base there. And the whole of the NATO strategy in the Atlantic would be ruined.
What does Forbes say about all this?
Forbes reports every day at 4 o'clock Sebastiana time in coded high-speed Morse. Winters, what's the cipher classification?
ARG-3, sir.
ARG-3. Will you make a note of that?
Oh, right, got it. Now, what does Forbes say?
That's what worries me, Craig. We haven't heard from Forbes for 9 days.
Well, there could be any of a dozen reasons.
I know. He could be ill. His transmitter could have been destroyed. He might have had to leave Sebastiana City.
Or he could have gone over to the other side.
I can't think he'd do that.
Still.
Anyway, don't reveal yourself to Forbes until you're sure of him. Get down there, Craig, and find out what's happening. I want to know 3 things. Is Rebus in danger? Who killed Jackson? And is Forbes trustworthy?
Right. When do I leave?
You're booked on a flight leaving London Airport at midnight.
And your plane arrives at Sebastiana City tomorrow at noon. Good luck.
Fansard 600, Model A, 3.2 liter. Independent suspension, disc brakes, automatic transmission optional.
Sebastiana City in 10 minutes, Mr. Jordan.
Thank you. I've forgotten your name.
You never knew it. But it's Gonzalez, Anita Gonzalez.
Anita. I've never been in Sebastiana. What's a good hotel?
Oh, there's the Torquemada. Lots of atmosphere, no hot water, and the worst food in South America. Oh, there's the Atlantic, where I stay. Clean, comfortable, and ordinary.
The Atlantic sounds fine.
Oh, but you may not get in without a reservation. It is Independence Day this week, and the city's jammed with tourists. It's a big celebration. Fireworks, parades, people dancing in the streets.
Just like the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Perhaps I'll see you at the Atlantic.
It's a small hotel, Mr. Jordan.
Miss Gonzalez, may I give you a lift into town?
Thank you, Mr. Jordan, but I ride in the staff car.
Well, is there any chance you're free for dinner tonight?
I'm sorry, no. After you. Don't look up. That man at the end of the line, his name is Jordan. See what you can find out about him.
Si, senorita.
Senor Robles, please. Hello, Uncle Juan?
Anita, my little chicken. When did you get in, huh? See? Jordan? See? Atlantic Hotel? See? Today.
Senor. So you are a car salesman, Mr. Jordan.
That's right.
And what brings you to Sebastiana?
Strangely enough, I thought I'd sell cars.
You're an optimist, senor. Either that or you haven't seen our roads. A few routine questions. What is the name of your company, please?
The Fansard Corporation.
And the head office address, please?
Goodbye, Senor Jordan.
Goodbye. Thank you for a very pleasant trip. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
The immigration official questioned me for almost half an hour. This could have merely been routine, or it could mean I was already being watched.
What's that building? President's Palace?
Si, senor.
I appreciate your concern for my physical safety, John. I do not object to these rather elaborate security measures. I merely wonder if they are really necessary.
Mr. President, you've heard the old English proverb that prevention is better than cure.
But, John, it saddens me to feel that on Independence Day I must be separated from my people by armed guards and troops.
Only during a parade, Mr. President, and when you make your speech from the front balcony of the palace.
Colonel Mendoza, you are my chief of militia. How do you feel?
Of course they love you, Mr. President, especially the shirtless ones. But some of the bankers and the big landowners...
Well, they hate me, I know.
And how much does it cost to buy one fanatical assassin with a high-powered rifle?
I agree with Senor Forbes, Mr. President. And since you brought him all the way from London to protect your person...
I should do what he tells me. Very well, John. Make whatever arrangements you wish.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and Senor Torres, I shall need your final figures on the budget no later than tomorrow night.
They will be on your desk tomorrow morning, Mr. President.
With your usual efficiency. And now I have a luncheon with the Brazilian ambassador. Good morning, gentlemen.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Some people understand change only by the assassin's bullet.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The Atlantic Hotel reminded me slightly of one of the cheaper hotels in Miami Beach. Hard chairs, high prices, and good gin. Over my drink, I wondered how I could contact John Forbes without being too obvious.
Senor Jordan,
That's right.
may I join you, please?
Help yourself.
My name is Robles. Juan Robles.
Have we met before?
No, but I know who you are and where you're from, and what you are doing in Sebastiana.
The official at the airport.
He has a wife and a very large family to support, senor. One mustn't grudge a small amount paid in such a worthy cause, huh?
It's your money.
Yes. And look what I get for it. Your name, age, address, occupation. And being a very clever businessman, I at once know why you are here.
Suppose you tell me.
You are looking for an agent, senor.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sure the Fansard Corporation wouldn't bother to open a branch here in Sebastiana. Obviously, you want a man to represent your interests. In all modesty, senor, I must say that I am the most successful agent in the city.
I can believe that.
So, let us get down to business, huh? Now, first, you want to sell Fansard cars, huh?
First, you want a drink. Allow me.
Oh, I am honored, senor.
Jordan, eh? And is he a car salesman?
Well, that part of it seems authentic. I had his luggage searched while we were having drinks. And he had a lot of letters from the Fansard Corporation. But nothing incriminating.
Then what makes you so suspicious, Robles?
Well, let me put it this way, Colonel. It has been 10 days now since London has heard from Senor Forbes, huh? And the very day that Sir Andrew Wilson calls for information regarding Jackson's death, this man Jordan flies into Sebastiana. It's an interesting coincidence, no?
An interesting coincidence, yes. I will telephone the Fansard Corporation and ask about this Senor Jordan.
I have already done that, Colonel.
Oh? What did they say?
They immediately connected me with the general manager. And he confirmed Jordan. He described him exactly. It was, how should I say it, too quick. Almost as if they expected my call.
As they would if Wilson had arranged them as a cover.
That's what I thought. And you know, over our drinks, Senor Jordan casually asked about Senor Forbes. He wants to meet him.
What for?
Ostensibly to sell him a limousine for our revered president.
That could be the truth.
Except for one thing, Colonel.
What's that?
I brushed against Senor Jordan as we left the Atlantic Hotel. He wears a shoulder holster.
Now, why would a car salesman carry a gun?
That's a very good question, Colonel.
When it isn't much to go on.
Not much. I admit that we have no real proof that the Senor Jordan is dangerous to our cause. But, on the other hand, as Senor Forbes would say, prevention is better than cure.
But if Jordan is an agent, and anything happens to him, there'll be questions asked in London.
Yes, in 4 more days, Colonel. Those questions can be diplomatically answered by our new president, Manuel Torres.
Yes, you're right. And we can't afford even the slightest risk.
Then shall I get rid of him?
Yeah.
A good decision, Colonel. Senor Jordan, this is Juan Robles speaking. I have talked to Senor Forbes and made an appointment for you for tonight at 9 o'clock. Here in my office. See, I will pick you up at 8:30 if that is convenient.
8:30 will be fine. Thank you, Mr. Robles. Goodbye.
Number, please.
Could I please have a listing or a number of John Forbes?
You'll have to get through to a private line. It's 127.
Thank you.
John Forbes speaking.
Mr. Forbes, my name is Jordan. I'm with the Fansard Corporation. I'd like to confirm our appointment for 9 o'clock tonight.
Appointment? What appointment?
Of course, only the female flowers develop into bananas, and each tree only produces one bunch.
Tell me more about Forbes.
Oh, I know him very casually. The president brought him back here after a state visit to England. Here we are. We're early.
About 10 minutes.
Let me show you around my little establishment. It isn't much, but still I'm proud of it. Would you like to see it?
Why not?
The warehouse is through here. Of course, Senor, I deal mostly in bananas and oranges and cacao. But we are developing new lines, like meat factories, canning plants. Now here, Senor, is a sample of our bananas.
They're still green.
Yes, they ripen in transit.
I suppose most of your stuff goes to the States.
Oh, all of it.
New York, I suppose?
Yes, and Baltimore. Now here, Senor, this is my pride and joy. A refrigeration plant. Senor Jordan, look.
Tell me.
Colonel Mendoza.
Robles speaking. The matter for export has been taken care of. It should be frozen solid in 3 hours. Colonel Mendoza, you're the chief of militia. I think it would be most unfortunate if you suddenly acquired a guilty conscience.
I will do what I have to do. I always have.
Why should you worry about this American agent Jackson? Or about this car salesman Jordan? I killed them, not you. Remember, Colonel, there is only one aim.
Oh, please, Robles, no preaching. I've heard it 1,000 times. Come, we shall be late for the meeting. Colonel Mendoza.
This is John Forbes here, Colonel.
Yes. I see, and you made no such appointment. Well, it may mean nothing, Senor Forbes, but in any case, I'll check on it. You're welcome. Bye. Jordan checked on the 9 o'clock appointment with Forbes.
It is quite simple. You just call Senor Forbes tomorrow and tell him Jordan checked out of the Atlantic Hotel and his present whereabouts are unknown.
Forbes here?
John, I'd like you to come down now, please.
Yes, Mr. President, at once.
But why should this phone call perturb you, John?
I don't know, Mr. President, but it won't hurt to have Sir Andrew run a check on Jordan in London.
Very well, do so. Now, may we get on with my Independence Day speech now, please?
Of course, Mr. President.
Now, gentlemen, the final plans of our operation. Let's get down to business.
And then get out of here quickly.
Mendoza, you're nervous?
As usual.
Can't the finance minister invite a few friends to his home?
Friends? The chief of the militia? The commander of the armed forces? The minister of transport? Por el amor del cielo. What fool would think this is a social evening? And that agent Forbes is suspicious enough already.
Forbes cannot possibly do us any harm. He'll receive his instructions from London and he'll obey them. General Rosendo, your report, please.
There will be an attempt on the president's life tonight at midnight.
Who's handling this?
Lazaro.
You trust him?
Completely. He's our best shot.
There must be no accident, Rosendo. Dead President Rivas is a martyr. Alive, he's a frightened man who'll play right into our hands.
The attempt will fail, Excellency.
But it must appear authentic, General. Ribas is evil, but he has a matador's courage.
The bullet will pass within an inch of his head. He will be unharmed, but terrified.
Good. And the army?
Will be informed by special proclamation that the president has fled the country, taking with him 17 million pesos d'oro.
Good. Incidentally, Robles, what about this man, Jordan?
He has been taken care of, Your Excellency.
You saw to it?
Personally. You may forget about him.
Senor Badillo, your report, please.
The plane is even now in readiness, Your Excellency. It will crash approximately 200 miles inside the Brazilian border.
But you cannot be positive that the president will be on it.
The president and Forbes will both be on it. Forbes will be urging him to flee, supposedly under direct instructions from Sir Andrew Wilson.
And the other evidence?
I've arranged that 17 million pesos have been deposited to the president's personal account. The records have been photographed and will be published in the papers.
You have thought of everything.
Of course. I believe we are finished. A toast, gentlemen, to Operation Fiesta.
It was all there. Details, names, dates. This is one time when I didn't intend to dodge the police.
Round the back.
Officer, you've got to take me to President Ribas at once.
I have? You're joking.
I'm not. The whole future of Sebastiana may depend on it. I have proof that within the next 72 hours, a group of revolutionaries...
And we will remember the true spirit of justice, that the least shall be heard and considered side by side with the greatest.
It's a splendid speech, Mr. President.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
Well, it's midnight, sir. Don't you think it's time we got
Yes, but first let us have a drink together.
Guard! Guard!
All right. I'm coming. Wait a minute. Hello, you wake up the whole city.
Now, you've got to listen to me. Are you loyal to President Ribas?
The Presidente, of course.
Well, then get somebody in authority to come here and listen to me. Understand?
I listen, senor.
Not you. Who's in charge here?
The Capitan.
What's his name?
Arrow.
Go get Captain Arrow and tell him to come here quickly, that it's a matter of life and death.
To you, maybe so. To him, no.
To President Ribas. Can't you get it through your head? The president's life is in danger, and there's going to be an attempt on his life tonight. Don't just stand there gaping. Get moving.
Thank you, sir.
That is all, Carlo.
Si, senor. Good night.
Good night. What will you have, John?
I have whiskey, please, sir. With soda.
I think we must make a deal with Manuel Torres. If he will support the health program...
Palace grounds under this window, quickly.
Please, sir.
You, get a doctor, hurry.
Nombre de Dios, I'm plagued with idiots. You gave me your word, Rosendo, that the attempt would fail.
Excellency, I do not know how this could have happened.
Imbecile! You claim Lazaro is the best shot in the army, yet from less than 100 feet he bungles it. Can nobody do anything right? Do you realize what happens if Rivas dies? Everything is lost. Months of planning ruined.
How bad is it, Excellency?
Caramba, how do I know? It was to be an attempt, nothing more. To frighten Rivas so that... Oh, get out of here. I'm wasting my time talking to you.
Excellency.
Incredible. And you say you found this in Senor Robles' safe?
How many times do I have to explain it? The president will be made to look like a thief who's run out on his country with 17 million pesos. Once the plane crashes, who'll try to vindicate him?
Nobody.
They're all in on it. Torres, Robles, Rosendo, Mendoza, all of them.
So I see.
Then why do we have to talk about this? Can't you understand how urgent it is for the president to know this?
I will at once place the matter in the proper channels.
Channels? The president's life is in danger. It may be too late.
Senor Jordan, it is already 3 o'clock in the morning. Nothing can be done at this hour.
Well, at least you're going to let me out of here.
I'm afraid I haven't the authority.
I uncovered a plot to assassinate your president, and you...
And you, Senor Jordan, are being held as a material witness. I will contact you first thing in the morning.
Now get this, Captain. What's your name again?
Guard. Sir. And my name is Errol. Captain Errol.
Then so help me, Captain Errol. I'll get you broken to a buck private.
I think not, Senor Jordan. And for your information, my first name is Lazaro. And I have the reputation of being the best shot in the army. John, do not pull such a long face.
Mr. President, I just can't understand how this could have happened.
Did you find the man?
No, sir.
Don't worry, it is merely a scratch on the shoulder.
You've lost a lot of blood, sir.
But none of my determination.
Mr. President, I'm worried. This represents far more than a bungled attempt on your life.
Come, John, one fanatic does not mean a conspiracy.
Mr. President, this was carefully planned. The assassin was inside the palace grounds. Somehow I got past Colonel Mendoza's guard. I don't want to be an alarmist, sir, but I don't think you should reject the idea of a conspiracy.
John, my friend, politically you are naive. Some madman shoots at me. The doctor says I shall be up tomorrow and that I can make my Independence Day speech without this sling on my arm. So it is finished. Now, let us talk of more pleasant things.
Yes, sir. But I have to watch the time. It's 3:30 and I transmit to London at 4.
Guard! Guard!
Now what do you want?
I'm thirsty. Bring me some water. Anything.
Here is water. In 2 hours, you eat.
Thanks. Where's Captain Errol?
Can't say. Tomorrow is Independence Day. Already the captain celebrates.
You here alone?
Cierto. And for 10 pesos a day. What is that, a pill?
That's right.
You have the headache?
No. I haven't got a headache.
No?
Ever hear of cyanide tablet?
Cyanide.
And this morning I find the freezer empty.
This is miraculous.
Not miraculous, Excellency, but ingenious. This man Jordan, he is clever. He exploded the lock with gunpowder. And then he broke into my safe and he stole our complete plans. It could have been a disaster if Lazaro had not used his head.
But this Jordan will try and contact Forbes.
Impossible, Excellency. At this moment he is in jail, thanks to Lazaro.
You've done well, Captain.
No, it is quite ingenious, Lazaro. Forbes transmits for only 90 seconds every day at exactly 4 o'clock. You know, in such a short time, tracing his transmission is almost impossible.
It's 1 minute to 4 their time, Sir Andrew.
Right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Forbes transmits in code, of course.
Yes, and a very difficult one. It took me a month to break it.
And where is his transmitter?
In the President's Palace.
And a frequency?
It was 1,700 kilocycles.
It has been altered?
11 days ago to 1,500 kilocycles.
So now he thinks he is transmitting to London, eh?
And that I am Sir Andrew Wilson. Have requested assistant twice. Advise if James Jordan, posing fancard salesman here, is our agent. Over.
Negative.
It's 1 minute past 4, sir.
Nothing?
Not yet, sir.
Give him a little longer.
Reliable sources report another attempt on President's life imminent. Imperative, you fly Rebus to safety within 10 hours. Contact Badillo and arrange special charter flight Rio de Janeiro soonest possible moment. Wilson, acknowledge.
Sir Andrew, it's 3 minutes past 4 in Sebastiana.
All right, close down.
Yes, sir.
I can't understand it, Winters. 11 days of complete silence.
He will be very confused, our Senor Forbes.
I doubt that, Captain. His kind of service demands that an agent takes orders implicitly.
And obeys them without question.
And now, Captain, you better see to your prisoner. I want him taken care of.
Yes, Excellency.
Permanently.
Imbecile, what happened? It was not my fault, Captain. I swear it. He tricked me by pretending to suicide. Stupido.
Put every available man on this, understand? He's 6 feet 3 inches tall, dark hair, blue eyes. Yes, yes, detail 4 men to the Atlantic Hotel just in case he goes back there. Room 37. And remember, he's armed and very dangerous. Shoot on sight.
I had to get back to the Atlantic for 2 reasons. Money and a gun. Since 3/4 of the hotel staff was out on the town, it was easy to sneak in the service entrance and up the back stairs to my room. Sorry, buddy. This looked like my chance of getting a disguise.
Very well, then. When will the plane be ready? Then we'll leave for the airport in 1 hour. Right. Thank you, Senor Badillo.
John, I just can't believe it.
Mr. President, please, we've been over this a dozen times. Trust me.
I do trust you, John. It's just...
Sir Andrew wouldn't issue such an order unless he knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that your life was in danger.
When do I return?
As soon as the celebration is over and the city is back to normal.
It makes me feel ashamed, running away like a coward.
Not like a coward, sir. Like a man who knows how important his life is to his country.
Well, not the best fit in the world, is it? The way the wine is flowing in this town tonight, who'll notice the difference?
And then Forbes telephoned me from the palace.
So they leave in 1 hour, huh?
And will be airborne in exactly 70 minutes as planned.
Anita, you checked everything at the airport?
Everything. There is a flight plan. The plane will crash about 200 miles beyond the Brazilian border.
It is dense jungle country. The wreckage won't be found for weeks.
There is a chartered flight clearance. I will be in the control tower at takeoff.
And then you will phone me immediately, eh?
Of course. But don't worry, nothing can go wrong.
Robles was the key to Operation Fiesta. If I could get to him, I could save the president.
Catalan, carissima, of course I want to be with you tonight. But it's impossible. Well, because I have a lot of work to do. Important work, chiquita mia. Look, by tomorrow night you will understand, huh? See. Adiosito.
Hello, Robles. What happens to traitors in this country? Come on.
Where to?
To the president's palace.
I think we must make a deal, Senor Jordan, huh?
No deal, Robles. Get up. Luck was running my way. I managed to grab a police car. Operation Fiesta had been as carefully planned as an architect's drawing. Every move timed to the second. The president's plane was scheduled to take off in 5 minutes, and I was 3 miles from the airport.
Everything is ready, sir.
I still do not feel this is really necessary, John.
Sir Andrew Wilson thinks it is, Mr. President. Otherwise, we shouldn't ask you to do it.
Mr. President, Who are you?
Jordan, read this.
Zero hour was fixed for the following morning. We decided it was safest to keep the president in hiding until the critical moment when Torres would make his announcement from the palace balcony.
It is time, Excellency.
What's happened to Robles?
I have no idea, but we can't wait any longer. Listen to them.
People of Sebastiana, for many years, I have been the devoted friend and servant of Enrico Ribas, the man you have elected president.
Your Excellency, You thought you'd make a better president, didn't you, Manuel?
Okay. I see they did you proud. What's the name of that decoration they gave you?
The Order of the Grand Cross of Sebastiana. Would you like to see it, Sir Andrew?
Oh, very much indeed. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very handsome trinket, isn't it? And very well deserved, if I may say so.
Between ourselves, I'd much rather have the 3 months leave you gave John Forbes.
Mary Craig, you're always talking about leave. You never think of other people. Forbes was stuck out there in that climate for a whole year. You had 3 days there at fiesta time. Your fare paid both ways, and they gave you this. I don't know what you're complaining about. Right?
Right, Sir Andrew.